Let's take a look at the Detroit Tigers last year. Dead last in runs, dead last in homers, second worst WOBA, 69.5 the win total. I don't mean to bring you down, Gove. Just giving you the stats here. AL Central 32-1. How about to win the pennant? 100-1, 200-1 to win the World Series. They may not be there yet, but man, they do have some nice young pieces as we can transition into some of the players that are getting drafted inside the first 200, 300 picks here. Javier Baez is the first Tiger off the board, shortstop 19, pick 166 on average. How about Riley Greene, a former 5th overall pick? Got some power, got some speed. What did you make of his rookie season, and what do you think he'll show us in year number 2?
There's a big debate in the fantasy community about Riley Greene's ability to steal bags because his actual speed, his time to first base, it's not that great. He doesn't fly off the bags. But with the way the game is looking to change this year, the rule changes, there's a lot of talk about a lot more stolen bases will be available to everybody because you limit pickoff moves and you got that pitch clock and it's just going to frazzle pitchers, blah, blah, blah. So, I think it's possible that Riley could steal 10 this year, and his power is totally legit. Don't forget, one of the key storylines, if we're talking Detroit Tigers baseball in 2023, is the changes to the fences. That's a huge story here. Comerica Park, they made changes to the right field fences. Center field was brought in a tad, and there was a lowering of the right center field fence, just so that Riley Greene can rob more home runs, by the way. I truly believe that. The problem is, though, when you lower that fence and you give him a chance to rob more dongs, you actually increase the ability of fly balls to just go right over that wall. So,
yeah, we got I love Riley too, and I think people were just like, expectations are super high when it comes to high prospects, and people were talking about him quite a bit in drafts, and maybe they were disappointed, but don't be. Like, this guy, I think he could get to 10 stolen bases as well. The bat has him for 9, 15 homers for Zips. I think he can flirt with 20. I think there's a couple guys on this list that can flirt with 20. Javier Baez, of course, has done it before. Austin Meadows, 20. Torkelson, 20. Is there a name other than Riley Greene that you like, that you want some shares of? I saw that you drafted Rodriguez, Erod, there in your draft the other day.
Yeah, I took a shot there. The guy we need to really focus on is Austin Meadows. What will he be? Can he return to the 25 to home run guy at least? Because last year was a lost year for him. He's depressed. He had mental health issues. I understand that as well as anybody, and I'm always empathetic of that. But there was also the vertigo issue. Is vertigo a problem for him? He's there in camp, hasn't hit a home run yet. His brother Parker Meadows, who is really, really good too, a guy to keep an eye on who could get called up sooner than later. He's crushing the ball in spring. I don't think that means that Parker Meadows is going to come out of camp with the Tigers, but Austin Meadows is the guy here that I'm really, really wondering, can he return to just being an average major leaguer or not? Because Spencer Torkelson's still young. He's got some years to prove if he could be decent, but it's do or die time really for Austin Meadows.
Yeah, and he's showed us before, right? Like, a really good ball player and good fantasy asset as well, as a guy that can touch a lot of categories for you.
Top 10 pick in the draft he came out in. He was.
And is he going to be everyday cleanup guy for Detroit?
I mean, if they're going to try, they're going to try to. If he's ready to go, they're going to give it a shot. But I don't know if that's going to stick, because if he doesn't hit, they got to make someone else slide into that 4th spot. And a guy that's not on this list I really like, I want to mention, is Kerry Carpenter. He came up last year, hit 6 home runs in a very limited sample size. He's a youngster, a lefty guy. They need more left-handed hitters, and he's out of Virginia Tech. He's hit a ton of home runs in the minor leagues last year. He can hit for contact, too. I think he's a sneaky batting average guy in deeper 15-team leagues and beyond, but a guy that's going to be on the major league roster who could probably provide more than we realize.
Yeah, 30 combined bombs in AA and AAA in 2022. So a little bit of power there as well. Sneaky. I'm glad you brought him up. Sneaky little sleeper for those in deeper formats. We got about a minute here. Can you just touch on the staff? You mentioned you took a shot on Erod. Matthew Boyd had a fantastic season a couple years ago. Michael Lorenzen's on the squad. He's basically a contact guy. Matt Manning contact. Spencer Turnbull. I've played him in DFS. I've taken some strikeout props on him as well. Is there an arm that maybe you can sell us on here?
Well, I want to sell you on Joey Wentz. Joey Wentz has been a hell and back with a ton of injuries, but he's healthy now. Went to the Arizona Fall League real quick last year as one of the older players, but he continues to show And that's a guy that I used in DFS late in the season last year, Mr. Wentz. Alex Blickle knows what I'm talking about. So I like Joey Wentz to be a guy who should be in this rotation. Remember, Spencer Turnbull's coming off TJ surgery, so we got to see what he can be now. But he's fully healthy and should be a guy that's ready to rock this year. I like both those guys. Can't stand Lorenzen. Really worried about Matt Manning taking a step back this year. And Boyd is just like, whatever. There's better arms I'd rather have in here.
Yeah, Manning and Boyd are guys, even Lorenzen, guys that I picked on in DFS quite a bit.